Welcome to my Heka Healing Oracle reading. So as we all know, Heka is all about alchemy, transformation. Intention plus action equals creation. And I work with the three creator gods, even though there are many in Egypt, but the ones we work with, which are deeply connected to Heka, is Sia, the god of perception, Hu, breathing the idea into being, the spoken word, and Heka. And Heka is for me like the absolute essence, manifestation, energy, and power of being able to bring a thought into a thing. And these are three gods. So when I work with these card readings, I have three columns. So one is to do with like the vision and the idea. The other one is like, how are you going to implement it, which is Hu. And then the third one is like kind of like the platform. Heka is the explosive manifestation of like, you know, the plan forging ahead. It's now in physical form and what you can expect in the future. So when it's a shame, I need to get myself set up so you can actually see the cards down in front of me, but I have three columns, right? And I have just done a reading, and I was actually for myself and the collective. And I thought, actually, I need to share this because I need direction now on where we're going. I think we all do, because February, okay, is the month of renewal. February is the month of like Bridget. I've been talking a lot about Bridget with her powers of, sort of like the solar sun, the sun breaking out through the darkness of winter. You know, it's got this whole rebirth energy about it, and it's about inspiration and passion and creativity and things like that. Bridget brings us many, many things, and you know that's been the kind of like tone of February. And as we move into March now, we're moving into Pisces season, right? So it's about going really into the depths of the water, emotion and everything like that. So I have been talking about how we are in the depths, the darkest depths, which is a good thing. It's nothing to fear, but we really are at the depths now, about to kind of like emerge and come into something brand new. So March is going to come with quite a lot of chaos. And I've said it before, it's not your chaos, it's chaos out there. We've been doing all this work on our internal state, which basically gives us a strong foundation. So now we need to kind of like really, we're following with blind faith because it's so dark and deep down here, divine feminine. We can't really see, but we can see. So that's why I threw some cards out today. And mine was a very general question of like, you know, where are we going from here until kind of like entering into this deep dark portal in March, which is going to be the turnstile of like being redirected. And I keep being shown like the spaghetti junction, as in the highways and everything like that. Some are going to go off there, some are going to go off there. Are you in that lane to go there? Everybody's going to have a different experience. So it's a case of like navigating that now from your own internal inner being, listening to that internal voice. But it's no harm throwing some cards out to give us a little bit of direction, right? So the first column is Sia. That's what sits at the top of my column, and I pull three cards that sit underneath, so power of three. So Sia, that is the hieroglyph, okay, and Sia is the god of perception. So the first card we had was born. Every day is a new opportunity. So bearing in mind, look, he's being reborn there, coming out of the shell, you know, so bearing in mind, this is all about your perception, your idea, your channeling abilities, the thought. Let's like put it down there. So every day is a new opportunity. So it really is about stepping out of the perceived fear and like leaving that behind now. We're not doing that anymore. In fact, it's not even real. So, you know, every day is a new opportunity. That sense of renewal, thank you, Bridget, is going to give us encourage us to actually go in different directions, because what we've done has kind of become obsolete now. How we've used to do it, it's kind of like, it's boring, isn't it? I'm finding it boring of the way I'm showing up in the world. I want to change everything now. So it really is about, new opportunities, thinking differently. I've always said it in videos before, if you went left, go right. You know, if you haven't been to gym, go to gym. If you go to yoga in the morning, do it in the afternoon. Change things up. And just those everyday things is going to stimulate the new fresh oxygen to bring you this open space. Because remember, Hecate is very much up front and center right now. And because we're going into the depths of our choice now. So we need to decide, you're going to do it how you always used to do it, or you're going to start to vision something brand new, because something new is waiting to come through. So the next card in light of that is Sonnet, express your creative art, right? So here is a, you know, like it's in a way, this is like a little bit like being in a prison, this card, you can see that she's all bent over and everything like that and restricted. And there's a little bit of a brick wall in front of her. However, that's the old. The new is express your creative art. So if we are indeed making different choices every single day, that's going to bring the fresh new oxygen, which will stimulate new idea, new thought. You may have new guides stepping forward that want to speak to you. But if you're so humdrum and intent on doing everything like you used to, and you're not making any effort to actually change stuff in your physical life, and the way that magic is ignited is by changing habits, right? It's very, very earthly and very human. Ignite the magic by changing habits, right? Brings you into a little bit of an uncomfortable zone. That's correct. That tells you you're moving in the right direction, because uncomfortability and outside the comfort zone is where magic ignites, and that's where change happens. So express your creative heart. So this is something to journal on. I had the same experience this morning before I even did this reading. I was like, what exactly is my superpowers? Look, I know I talk to you guys and I channel and I do all of these things, but I'm just like, well, what is my superpower? You know, there's something else that wants to reveal itself to me. But if I'm still doing the same old rhythmic routine, then it's not going to have any space to come into. So that's why it's really important to change what you're doing so you can be given something, you know, brand new. And it's like anything. You go and speak to the same people, hang out with the same people, same conversations. All of a sudden you go and have an experience socially with a new group of people. You can talk about different things, and that's going to stimulate different conversation and thoughts to ponder. It's like that, isn't it? You know, so then the third card to actually, you know, with the run of this is masked. Honor your authenticity, which runs beautifully on the back of express your creative heart, right? So honor, so you can see this person here is taking off their masks. We have so many masks that we don't even know. When I first moved here to Cape Town 10 years ago, I was 19 years as an exercise specialist and a healer. And that's what I used to do. And I had to take 2 years. It took me 2 years to take the masks off to actually see what else was underneath there. And yes, I went through more layers, more labels, like, oh, Marie, the spiritual teacher, Marie that does videos, Marie that takes people to Egypt, and so on and so forth. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm more than that. So we're going beyond the labels and we're actually honoring our authenticity. So the true you is that light, is just that joy. Joy will, when you're fully embodied in that, will give you a whole different way to express that. So we really have gone through the layers of the labels, which has kept us in a little bit of a pigeonhole. Now Spirit's saying, right, now you're going to blow the doors off and you're going to discover things about you that you never knew before. If through the guidance of Seer, which is all to do with your channeling abilities, your messages, your vision, your idea, every day is a new opportunity. Express your creative heart and honor your authenticity. So that is giving you a clear line of sight for it. Let's just pin it on here to March. This is going to be your directive if this resonates, right? So now we move into the second column, which is Hugh. Okay, Hugh is the god of the unspoken word. So basically, he speaks the word into being. So with Hugh, what you can expect to do in your life, if you journal an idea, you bring life to it. If you speak it out loud, you declare it. Hugh is divine, man is the physical. So that's exactly what it is. Hugh will bring the energy and the thoughts and the ideas and start to build a physical runway for you to start manifesting it, right? So this is where this column changes a little bit. So we've got all of the idea. We know that we need to be authentically us. We know that there's new gifts and abilities and ideas waiting to come online. We just have to make the physical changes in our life to change routine. Now we move over to Hugh. Let go and lighten your load, right? So this card, you can see this guy, he's just pulling everything behind him. Let go and lighten your load. You know, he really is struggling there. Now, this can come with people pleasing. We are now, all of us, not just you, me as well. We're looking at everything where we actually question because it's been so hidden. This is Hecate showing us what has been hidden in the dark depths, which we didn't even know was people pleasing. How much have you been living your life for others? Because it's become so ingrained. We need to question now, am I doing that? I have to really sit quietly. Am I doing that because it's for me? Or am I doing that because it's just easier because I don't want to upset anyone or anything? All of these things, it's like, that's the question now. Are you living for you? Are you team you? Because that's the divine feminine. It's like we have to feed ourselves. Otherwise, yeah, we're just stuck, you know? So let go and lighten your load. So Hugh is asking you to step into a new life and physically live a new life. So in light of that, let go and lighten your load. If you let go of all of these false truths and these beliefs and these illusions, and you let go of carrying others and other things or whatever, people pleasing, then the great reveal is going to happen. So that's our first thing, right? Is to actually give our sacred no right here before we give our sacred yes. So what can you give your sacred no to? And this can be a journal experience as well. And take that energy out of your space, right? So then the great reveal can happen. So then, oh God, then the next card is reveal. I didn't do that on purpose, honestly. Reveal. Okay, express the real you. This is dovetailing from the first column. You know, honor your authenticity is what Sia was telling us to kind of like tap into our gifts and abilities and our superpowers. So this second one is more about the physical. So reveal, express the real you. So as this is in Hugh's column, which is to do with physicality, a bit more like landing on the physical runway, letting go of lighten your load, cut the strings to that which is burdensome, right? Really go into this time of renewal with what serves you. Reveal, express the real you. So let's ask that question. Do you know who the real you is? Because that's what's screaming to come out now, right? So, you know, this is something that I think as a result of lightening your load, you will observe and experience and witness the reveal, the expressing of the real you. So this is not something, remember, we're in the divine feminine. This is not something you need to go and do as a result of lightening your load. That's a bit more of a physical card. You've got to cut those strings there. So if you cut those strings, then the great reveal is going to be upon you. And I've spoken about it in previous videos. You're just going to watch and go, okay, I see that. That wasn't true. And then your belief systems will change. So that is your doing card. Cut the strings and then the great reveal will just be shown to you. There's no hard work here. Okay. And then the third one is infinity. Preserve your power. So this balloon here, basically, this card here speaks infinity, you know, preserve your power. I've spoken about it before, which is kind of the alchemical formulas, you know, intention plus action equals creation. But the biggest one here is actually, to know is to know your craft, to will is to kind of start to take action. To dare is, can you go into your uncomfortable zone, to step out there and really live your idea and bring it into manifestation, because change has to happen for you to do that. Can you commit to that? And then to be silent is to really be still and silent while you go through this percolation, while you go through this change of becoming. So what this card is saying is, like, you know, as you're going through this transformation and this transition, okay, as we move into the new earth fully, which I've said is going to be the full physical manifestation of that is going to be the second half of this year. It's a case of just keep your energy in. Do you know what I mean? Just contain it. And just have more of an inward journey right now before you go more out there. So we're really talking about moon energy right now, more so than solar sun energy. Solar is out there, moon is within. Moon is where the magic is and kind of like the manifestation actually begins. And then the sun brings the action. It's like, if the sun shines on the flower, the seed grows, and all of a sudden you've got a forest. Do you know what I mean? So the sun will bring an element of fire and an ignition for creation. But right now, this is saying, right, just preserve all of these ideas in this transformation. Go within. This is Pisces season. You know what I mean? Go into the deep, you know? So even though we're not actually getting full on action based here, in a way you are, because you're making significant changes to be able to change your inner world to change the outer world, right? So whatever's coming up for you, new ideas, new business ideas, journal on it. I want to do this. I want to do that. I mean, like I said to you before, and I keep sharing for inspiration for you guys, I'm going to DJ school next week for 2 weeks. Every day I'm going to be in class and I'm going to be mixing music. And that has got nothing to do with anything really, except pure joy, love music. And I just want to do it because I've always wanted to do it. That is the kind of things that I'm kind of sitting on. That's got nothing to do with anyone except me and my teacher and my daughter, because I'm doing it with my daughter. So just see, it's kind of like I'm having a Marie world experience right now where new things are coming up, but it's not necessarily something I'm going to share out there because it's to do with me. I'm really giving to me. And that choice of DJing, it doesn't benefit anybody else except me, unless you come to a DJ set of mine and I end up being really good and then you're in the crowd. There's also that, okay? So now the third and final column, Heka. So now we've gone through the idea. We understand that every day is a new opportunity. Express your creative heart and honor your authenticity. And then what you're going to do is to basically move into the next level. You're going to lighten your load, snip the strings that are holding you to other people, places, and situations. Doing shit you don't want to do, get rid of it. Reveal, that's just something that's just going to be offered up to you, and you're going to go, wow, that's amazing. And then infinity, this is your own internal work. Preserve your power, because you're going to need it for the second half. You know, when you're percolating and you're making a new idea, you want it all here. You don't really want to go out there. You're just in your mad professor mode, just creating and letting things bubble away, right? So now the third row, okay, Heka, right? Tribe. I've always said this. There's that balloon again. How crazy. So tribe. You know, find your people. So remember, Heka is the explosive manifestation thing, the longevity of living the life that we're moving into and what that looks like. Like I said, Seer, Hue, and Heka can be likened to portals, pathways, and platforms, right? So the platform here is basically that, you know, tribe, find your tribe. That is longevity. Once you find your tribe, and you're in there, then you're good to go. Because I've said all of your encodements will unlock when you're actually with the tribe that you feel safe enough around. They value you, they honor you. It's just pure love, man. And you feel the same way about them. That's an exchange energetically. So when that happens, that's at your absolute foundation for all of this to land onto. So if you are out there and you've got all of this going on, but you don't have your tribe, then of course you're not going to be supported in the physical world. Fine, we already have our tribe up there, but as above, so below. We have to find our tribe in the physical. So I've said it before, you know, the only way that you're going to really find your tribe is transformational travel. Come and walk with Marie in Avalon or Egypt or wherever, or get out there and join other people's groups, because these sacred tours and these sacred groups and everything like that, which encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. I've said it before, it's not just about the work that teacher is offering you to transform. It's actually about meeting souls that you agreed to meet in this timeline. You're not going to meet them in suburbia. This is what I'm talking about. Big changes in your life, stepping out of your comfort zone. This is what it's all about. If you expect massive changes and you're not prepared to leave your house, then it's going to be minimal, isn't it? So finding your tribe and putting action-based things in, you know, down the line. Maybe second half of this year is when you're going to do it, and beyond is when you're going to go, right, stuff this for a game of soldiers. I'm going to go out and meet my people and just make an effort to go out and do that, you know? So then the next card underneath that, bearing in mind that this is the platform, this is the manifestation, identity, make your own choices, right? Making your own choices. Now, for me, this goes very much with this card, which was the one I shared with you, let go and lighten your load. People pleasing, that one, people pleasing. And this is exactly the same. Make your own choices. What I want to ask you here, freedom will come when you actually fine-tooth comb through your whole life, and you actually try to kind of ascertain, observe, where is it that you are giving your power away to others, right? Because I've said this in videos, this is a massive reclamation of power, listening to your own inner voice. When you're wholesome and whole and powerful inside, and then you do sessions and workshops, you just add to the magic you've already tapped into. But when you're not prepared to tap into your own magic, and then you're just taking counsel from others out there, then you're giving your power away, right? That means they're making the choices for you, not you. So this could be really this could be like a very overpowering relationship that you're not happy in, like as in with your beloved, or maybe they're not your beloved. Do you know what I mean? Maybe working for someone when you should be working for yourself. Making your own choices could be like just feeling, you know, maybe from an ancestral line, maybe your family have always had control of you. I don't know. There's a million ways to actually give your power away. So that identity, if you start to recall your power back, and physically you look, because that's where we are now, physically you look at your life and go, where in what scenario do I give my power away? Once you have awareness on that, then you can call it back. And then just take in a moment as I close my eyes here and say, any energy I have given away or left behind, I call back to myself now. Any energy I've given away or left behind, I call back to myself now. It's basically that. And that, once you're wholesome, you can get a true idea of what you're supposed to be doing here. One cannot move to the next cycle if you are not making your own choices. So make your own choices. You are capable. You have the wisdom. You have the power. In that choice is going to be the golden nugget that you are seeking for, because you're looking for that new idea, that new way to express in the world, that new way to be. That might be a tapping into that fear, okay, because you're fearful of standing up to that person to say, hey, I'm going to make my own choice on that. if you pass that initiation, that lesson, and you face your fear and you go, thank you, but no thank you, then the back end of that, what's going to happen is a ripple effect, is because you've reclaimed that power, then that's when the idea is going to pop up. It is. It's waiting. It's waiting for you, but you can't have all of the prize and wealth if you're not prepared to kind of like step into the uncomfortable zone. So that's why if you claim your identity and you make your own choices, you're a whole lot of you, right? You know what I mean? Now there's 2 cards. There's a final card to like add to this. This is quite interesting because this is all about people pleasing, okay? Or giving your power away. Rescue, okay? Helping another to help yourself, right? Now that doesn't mean go and help somebody to help yourself. It's quite the opposite, this card means. Where are you rescuing? Because that's just a distraction. It's a distraction for you and it's a distraction for the person that you're rescuing because they're on their path doing certain things and then you go in and make it easy for them. You pay for their dinner or you look after them in that way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then what happens is you take them away from what they have to learn. So you're kind of in a way thieving. You're robbing somebody of their own experience, even though you think you're coming from a heart-based place. But then what you're also doing is you're distracting yourself from your own journey because helping someone else who's in need makes you feel good. So what you're doing is you're basically pulling the feel-good factor to fill your cup from somebody else's trauma so you don't have to face your own inner world. Rather just go and help out there. And that's what all of us have done, if not are doing. I know I did it for a long time. Don't do it anymore because I allow the person to actually just go through what they're going through. And of course you can come and sit on my sofa and have a cup of cacao. Of course I'm going to be there for you, but I'm not going to walk your journey for you because the thing is I know it's a distraction. I've got a whole lot of stuff that I need to do here. So if you do for yourself, you do for all anyway. If you leave your post and you do for others, then you slow the whole movement down, not just for yourself, but for humanity. Think about it that way. So then this was the other card because I decided to pull 2 cards because I was like, I want more information on that. So we had consent. Sorry, it's really hard when I'm mirrored on my video here. Consent. And then rescue, okay? Or rather we had rescue and then consent. So that was the first card. Then I pulled this one, okay? Know your boundaries. Now, all of that, boundaries only comes with everything that I've shared with you. You know, because when we're giving our power away, we don't have boundaries. That's the whole point. So literally finding your people, feel safe. You don't have to people please. You don't have to run any of those programs because you don't need to, because you feel safe. They got your back. You've got theirs. It's an undeniable feeling when you're with your tribe. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's flexing. Nobody's trying to have power over. So you have power under. Find your tribe. That's going to help you get longevity to explode all of your new ideas. This is foundational stuff that Heka is sharing with us today. And then identity, making your own choices, right? That's a power reclaim, right? And then rescuing, that's what's going to distract you from basically claiming your power. You're giving it away to another. But if you kind of like find your tribe and make your own choices, then your boundaries are going to be in place. And once your boundaries are in place, again, it backs up the safety factor. It's almost like you've put your foundation of the house in. Now you can build your house. Now you can get on with it. You can make it beautiful face brick or you can just paint it white. Now you can have fun with creating. So I really, really do hope that this kind of like helps you navigate your way forward. But I have been like a dog with a bloody stick with this people pleasing, fight, flight or fawn. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. We are moving forward and we are claiming our power. And it actually is now all about the physical. It's all about the physical. It can't be about anything else. This is what it looks like. So now this card is actually the power of surrender cards. So what do we need to surrender to step into this new way? Surrender to effortlessness. Ooh, I like that. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Exactly. So that's the final card, which overrides all of this. Now, the people the cards that I was using for this particular reading is Dark Magic Oracle, which is great because it really shows the shadow side in through the light, you know? So great deck of cards. So that is your oracle reading and your directive for the coming times, I suppose. So yeah, I hope it helped because it helped me. I threw this out and I was like, oh, got to share this one. Anyway, as always, peace and love, yo, and I'll speak to you on the next video.